Welcome back to another Epic Custom Homes new construction update. You can see the house behind me here. You may remember it from a previous video. If you haven't watched those, go back. We're kind of doing a phase thing, so from the slab all the way to a finished product. This one is now at the sheetrock phase, so it looks completely different from the last video. So we're gonna head on in here, meet up with Rob like always, and kind of give you a tour and update on this beautiful home that they're building. We're back with the amazing Rob Walker with Epic Custom Homes.
Hey, welcome.
We're at phase 3 now.
Well, probably, yeah. I would say we're sitting at...
I'm going to fix this really quick. There you go.
There we go. I would say we're sitting at third base. We're getting close. We're almost to the finish line here. So, yeah.
Well, like we've been doing with these, this is kind of just an overview of the new construction process, mixed in with all the cool things that Epic Custom Homes does. So, like you said, we're at third base, phase 3. So, the last time they saw this, it was basically just the frame.
We were in sticks.
Yeah. So, now we've got flooring in here. We've got cabinets, a lot of stuff. So
just finished the cabinets, just finished the prepping of the drywall. So now we're ready for paint.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a tour of this home and look at all the really cool things that are going on in here. But really quick, while we're standing in front of kind of a floor plan here, tell us, Rob, what does it look like when someone is wanting to build a house? Do they have to bring their own floor plan? Can you modify a floor plan? Do you provide them a floor? How does that work?
Yes, and yes. I would say most things are coming from inspiration that they're seeing online. Sure. Right? Went to
good old Pinterest.
Good thing called Google.
Yep.
Saw a floor plan and then brought it to us, and then we're helping modify that and bring it to life.
Cool.
For them. This is exactly how this house started that we will be seeing today. We're about 5,000 square feet. It started off as a floor plan that eventually just continued to grow and meet the needs of the client.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. I would like to know like a statistic on like how many people actually like full-blown custom, like they've had a plan in their attic for 100 years that they've always wanted to build their dream house. Like how often does that happen?
Never. Never. So Epic is, we're about 300 houses throughout the Tulsa market. I would say the word never have we ever done the same house twice. Ever. We will see variations of it. I downplay this in the sense that we are looking at squares, is how many squares you need, how many boxes you need, how we're going to put those boxes around the house, but not one time. And we've done some really cool stuff, but everybody still manipulates it to
they have
fit
some
their
sort
needs.
of a base, like we kind of want this, but can we add a bedroom?
Right, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's take a look around here. We're kind of in the kitchen area. So Mom's on the camera today. We're going to have her back up a little bit and let's talk about this. So what cool things we got going on in here? I mean,
we are seeing a big trend back to warm tones. So when I look at these cabinets, I can tell they're all going to be stained. We are seeing a stain come back, some more richness in color. We're getting away from a lot of the white and everywhere. Even though we're going to be definitely painting this white, you can tell by the materials that it's going to be used. The Ventahood is also going to be painted as well, but then going to have a very large stain island here in the center of this.
Well, and I see you have electric. So, okay, sink here.
Sink, yep. Double trash can,
and
your typical pull-outs.
These are still pretty much, well, it's a mix of shaker design. Is that still the trend?
Shaker, some flush, right. I still love shaker. I really do.
I think it's just a clean look.
It is. It's clean. It looks good. It's timeless.
Nobody really likes that kind of like Archie thing anymore. It's like grandma's house.
Grandma's house, don't see a lot of ropes anymore.
None of that.
Not a lot of heavy corbels. And,
okay, well, let's go this way.
Well, let's go to the game room. Can we go to the game room? Let's go to the game room.
Whatever you think.
Because something that we are seeing a big trend going back to is a thing called arches.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, everyone is saying throw an arch. And the unique thing is, I can remember you go back, a decade ago, and if you did an arch in one place, you had to do it in every door. Well, today we're seeing like, hey, let's just throw an arch here, and let's put an arch there. And so we definitely are seeing a big trend back to the arches and stuff.
It's funny to see it done because I remember in the other video we looked at it from the other side actually. So
all the wood slats were placed and stuff.
I do think arches, they definitely add that character that I think is missing in a lot of new construction. Where it's like it's just a big empty box. When you can add architectural features like that, I think it makes all the difference. You got a patio door here.
So unique feature. This is actually going to be a bar system. We got a couple floating shelves coming. They're obviously going to put some kind of puck lighting or some kind of lighting underneath it. Again, going to be a stain bar. This bar then services the outside.
Yep.
So we got the big slider door that's going to get us outside. And then as we walk around, it goes into the game room. So the bar is going to have some dual purpose uses there.
Awesome.
Game room, entertainment room. You can see the large cable works for the TVs and everything that's going to be stuck in there.
This might be a dumb question, but why is the tile not over there? Is that going to be carpet or what?
Yeah, it's going to be carpet. Okay. It's going to be carpet. So they brought in a different material and stuff. My guess is to make the warmth of the room. Yeah, so we're probably putting a pool table or some kind of gaming in here, and then the warmth of the room there.
Right. Yeah. And obviously you guys use Pella windows. We've talked about that before.
Love Pella, sure. Yeah.
You still, the black trim is still the most popular?
Well, black on the outside is really popular. In this situation, we actually brought black in the inside. You know, I relate everything back to trends, and sometimes you have to relate these to cost.
Oh yeah.
So when you add black to an exterior, you're adding a double-digit percentage to your overall window package, and then the same thing when I bring black to the inside, you're adding some pretty good cost to that. Yeah. And you won't see black on black in every series of every window. You usually have to go up a notch into a better quality window just to get the black inside as well as the outside.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We were talking about fireplaces earlier, so let's talk about that, because we're definitely seeing a movement towards electric versus gas or versus the real wood burner. Now this is still gas, but I would say now where I didn't put electric fireplace in for several years, now we're seeing about 50% of the houses are doing electric fireplaces or linear fireplaces across there. And they're going for that really clean, that really modern look. Love it too, because it has a lot of features. Different colors.
Different colors. For me, having both growing up, hated cleaning out the ashes and all. It's just a mess. I'm all about this.
Yes. Gas is great. Push a button, it on. Push a button, it's off. Don't have to worry about cleaning it.
Right. Yeah. It's perfect. Now, so on stuff like this, obviously mantle. I mean, give me a. What would someone do here? I mean,
well, you're getting built-ins. Built-ins are coming. Furniture style built-ins are going to come. Again, try to utilize and take advantage of this space. We're sitting about 14 feet to the roof, so we got a lot of space to take care of. Large mantle is going to set. You can obviously see the TV lines set ready.
What are you seeing as far as like what people do on their fireplace? They still doing stacked stone? Is it an accent wall? Usually,
you can almost look at the exterior of a house and then realize that they're going to probably take some of that. So we got a lot of stucco on the exterior. Yeah. This is not going to be stucco because we're already drywall, so we've got some kind of brick veneer, some kind of tile, or tile, very popular, could be tile. I would have to ask one of the designers to be dead on, but definitely that looks like tile coming.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of different things. I mean, I think it all works, but I think that's the fun of custom, you know? Whatever you want.
Definitely. Do what you want to in that space to make it yours.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, primary?
Sure.
Going with primary?
All right.
May remember the big windows from the last video.
Yeah, that was the video right before this one.
Yeah.
Very cool. How big were they, Rob?
Those are 12.
12-foot windows. All right.
12 by, here's builder measurements. So we'll call that 12 by about 5.5.
Now tell me, you have electric up there. So for electric blinds?
Yes, electric blinds.
Okay.
Yeah, good call. Okay. That's exactly what that's for.
That's what I would do. Well, heck, I don't want to.
Yeah. You better put something on a button that you can push a button and drop everything. So we come into the primary suite. Again, we're seeing a lot of accent walls being used. Yep. The great thing about accent walls, it adds a lot of character. Probably the negative about an accent wall, it does then kind of set you in a tone for what that room's going to be. Right. And it's going to be like that until you decide to change that accent wall, paint it, or take it down completely, which you can do. Oh yeah.
I definitely have seen a lot of that though. I mean, even like the DIY channels, but a lot of new construction, they've all got, let's make an accent wall, which I do think they're great. My mom and me, she's always like, you got to dust it though.
You got to clean it. Somebody has to clean that.
Somebody got to clean it. But no, they do look great. No complaints. And I like that you, the seller or the buyer that's buying this wanted a patio door.
And a patio accesses to a private patio then for the primary suite. So they have their own patio. And this house is a horseshoe, so we wrap around a pool. From their primary suite, they're going to be able to exit, have a private sitting area, and then turn around and go right to the pool. So yeah.
How close, just curious, will the pool come to the...
Well, it's hard to probably see this on video, but the pool's coming all the way up into this nook.
So it's almost like a grotto situation.
Yeah, I'd say you got almost a third of the pool that's going to be up into the body of the house, and then
well, that'll be gorgeous for them though, because the windows are right here. They'll have pool views from their room.
Yeah, watch it from all directions. Yeah, got to be able to see the pool from all directions.
Okay. Tell us about this amazing bathroom.
Primary bathroom. We walked in it early. You're like, wow, that's a big bathroom. It is a big bathroom. Back to the arches. We're seeing some arches used in some different areas and stuff. Funny is we're like we talked about earlier. You see arch and then you see squared off right next to it, and totally acceptable today. It's like matching hardware. There was a time where if you use chrome hardware, that's all you're using. Everything was chrome. Yeah. So today, I can see a room will have variety of hardwares, a variety of.
I call that texture.
Texture, it does.
There's a lot of different things happening, you know. Yes. Like with the accent walls, or even just like different colors of. Maybe it's all granite, but it's different colors of granite, or an accent of granite on this side.
Which all of this has made our world a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
There was, so we live in Tulsa, we joke about Tulsa Brown. Tulsa Brown was what every house was 10 years ago, right? Would you agree?
Literally.
It was ultra bronze this, or ultra bronze that.
A lot of Tuscan inspirations.
Yes.
And wrought iron and
a lot of brown rocks and brown exteriors. That was all then brought inside. So today we see a world of complication. I'm going to blame Pinterest.
Blame Pinterest
or Google, exactly one of somebody, because somebody took the idea. It's like, hey, let's take this and add that and change this, and let's make the builder's life harder. And congratulations, they're doing that well.
Like nationally and locally, finally, we're moving away from Joanna Gaines. Like, love her, but I've seen so many barn doors and so much shiplap. It's just, I get it. Yeah. But it's time for something new.
So we're definitely seeing that new. That new is colorful, a lot of bold areas. We saw a lot of 3D wallpaper. Very unique. Walk in there and see these big, bold wallpapers. And wallpaper's making a big comeback.
I think just color in general is kind of making, like, we're getting away from the gray and whites. There's a lot more, like, people would accent the gray and whites with their furniture, but now we're seeing the color come actually into the house.
Totally agree.
Versus the furniture.
Totally agree. Really what we're seeing is the house turn into the focus. Yeah. Where it used to be the house was boring, and then you brought in your couch and you brought in your paintings on the wall, and that's what made the color. Today we're seeing it like it's an art piece.
That's 100%, because I've talked with Mom about this, about how I hate it when a house looks ugly when there's nothing in it. Like, it still should look cool even without the artwork, even without the furniture.
And that's tough to do, because
it is hard to do.
You go back 5 years and I thought houses looked really boring when they had nothing in them. Right. Looks a lot better when we call it the jewelry, the makeup. And that's when you bring in all the furniture, you put in the art, you pull in the fixtures, the lighting, all bringing that in as well and stuff. But today you're seeing art being built in different areas.
Well, speaking of art, so one of the things people are using is lighting a lot. So something I noticed earlier before we started filming, you left a spot up there for accent lighting in the shower.
Right, got some accent lighting. You're seeing that a lot being done underneath cabinets or above cabinets or around this pool, around this tub. There's also some more accent lighting, accent lighting in these areas. I'm always interested because I personally have never had that other than in my cabinets.
Right.
I don't know how I would live. Would it change the way I feel about my room? But it's in your cars too right now. Accent lighting is in
all over in the cup holders and under the dash, all that stuff. I have noticed though, it's kind of like the parade house you guys did. There was a lot of accent lighting there too, and some of the spaces, honestly, like if you want that moody vibe without turning on every light, and they just turn on the accent lights, it actually gives a nice, warm, homey feel that I think is almost better.
I think
just living in your house.
It's definitely maybe bringing in some zen to your house. It feels right. You like that? Mom like that one. Zen, it makes you feel like you're not just you're not just you're in this world. You're living in this world, and it feels who you are as a person.
For sure.
But yeah, we're seeing a lot of that go on.
So let's talk about tubs for a minute. Everyone obviously still likes a good freestanding tub.
Yep.
I do have a question though, because Mom and I were actually talking about this. Have you had anybody that wants to build like I call it a wet room. I don't know if that's the proper term,
absolutely.
but we're like almost like the shower and the tub are all kind of in this same. Everything can get wet.
Definitely. 25% of our homes will do that. Will show us that Pinterest picture and absolutely do that. Where you're putting the tub, the shower, all behind glass. They're all incorporated. Yeah. I think it's a great idea. It looks like really difficult to clean.
That's what was my thing, because I've seen some that's like the bathroom is divided in half and there's a glass wall in all the shower and tub, and I'm like, you gotta clean that.
It's a lot of glass. It's a lot of glass to clean. That's a lot of glass.
Cool. Anything else in here you want to talk about?
No, I think, we're seeing, I think it's interesting when we look at how the tub's going to be. And people do not realize the breakdown of what it looks like to put in a tub as far as like where the faucet goes, how it sets. The faucets can go on the tub themselves. The faucets then could come out of the wall. And in this scenario, the faucet's coming out of the ground.
One of those freestanding
faucet. Okay. So, when you think about this space and you're thinking about how do I want to spend my money?
Yeah.
Everything I just said, from the faucet on the tub to the faucet out of the wall to the faucet coming out of the ground, we are moving thousands of dollars around to make that happen. That fixture alone coming out of here is a pretty healthy amount. So I find it very interesting when somebody, and now we're in $1 million home, and so I kind of expect to see some things but I, see things in like $600,000. Like, why would you spend your money there? Like, really? Because most people cannot come in and evaluate, hey, I can tell they spent a lot of money on this. I expected $1 million home, don't necessarily expect it in like a $600,000 house.
For sure.
But yeah, very interesting how
that is something that I think we've talked about that before, that how you really go over them, like what the costs actually are, because people don't realize, this tub versus a tub that's freestanding versus one that's all like major price difference. And even just the plumbing to remember to cut this out.
That's right.
The thing. And like there's so many moving parts. As I break it, and I'm just kidding.
You're not going to hurt that.
So many moving parts that I think people don't realize. Like, if that's the tub you want, you need to know those things up front, because the tile has to be cut, the plumbing has to be done. That's
right. Well, that plumbing's done in through the foundation, versus bringing it out of the foundation and leaving it open, and I put it in the wall. Then I can manipulate it in the wall, because obviously, if it's PEX, I can run it through different areas of the wall. It don't have to be perfect. This has to be spot on. Like that drain has to be spot on to fit the tub, because obviously that tub's drain is predetermined. I can't move it around. I better make sure I hit that hole.
That's a good example too. Yeah, if the tub drains in the middle, but they don't cut it quite right, your tub's going to be off. Yeah. So a lot of people, communication, guys, communicate with your builder.
I like how and I had nothing to do with this, but I like how all of a sudden they brought in this kind of arch tone to the cabinet.
Right.
And I thought, when I saw this as we were walking in here, I thought that's really kind of a unique idea. I thought that was really well done.
And you have a pocket door here, so people are still liking that.
Pocket doors are still popular for the only reason they never use them.
Nobody ever closes.
If this was our house reality, this will never get closed.
Never used.
But for some reason, they feel like they need a pocket door. Now, on the other side of this is the utility room.
Right.
So for that instance, being the utility room sitting right there, maybe we're gonna close it off because it's loud, or maybe my kids are in there doing laundry, and I don't want to keep them out. So pocket doors, we still see pocket doors
for sure. And I like to have the window in the closet. That's always a winner for me.
So you'll notice it in a lot of the Epic houses. We put a window everywhere. Think about it. We're walking around a house. There's no electricity on. You and I are not walking around with any lights, but every space that you and I have been in, including the closet, including the bathroom, in front of our utility room, you can see, because we love putting some light somewhere so you can make it. So you can think about it. If you live in this space, you don't have to turn on the light to come in and find your clothes.
Right.
You would if you were my wife, because she has a lot of clothes to shuffle through, but me, I have 6 shirts, so it's pretty easy to find.
There you go. Yeah, you wear the same Epic shirt every day.
Every day, got an Epic shirt on.
So in here, obviously, this is what I refer to as a snooze feature. I don't know if that's actually the preferred term.
What feature?
The snooze feature.
Okay.
That's where the utility's connected to the master closet, connected to the, so that's how, I don't know. Somebody told me that once, and I've just been calling it that forever.
So years ago, when somebody genius, and obviously it wasn't us that came up with it, but the idea to come off your primary closet into your utility room, and then that is now a shareable space to the outside, I thought was a home run idea. So kudos to whoever did that.
And I had somebody,
idea.
John, if you're watching this, he moved from Phoenix, and he's like, we don't have that here. There's such an amazing idea.
Really?
Where like I could just come like closet and throw the laundry right in here, and it's all connected. And he was like, this is amazing.
So convenient for a person living in the house. Because, my current situation is I've got to get up and travel through the house to find the utility room. Yeah. Just like everybody else that lives in the house has to travel. At least at this point, the primaries, they're fortunate. It's easy for them. Now the kids got to go up and down the stairs.
Of course. But I mean, it is still connected, obviously, like they all are to the main hallway, so the kids can still come and throw their stuff in there without going through the primary bedroom.
And make it easy on them and stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Pocket office. You and I were talking about offices. Offices were one of those trends that before COVID, we saw people getting less and less and less office.
Right.
After COVID, those first couple of years, next thing you know, we're building monstrosity offices, even, 2 people, desk offices. This one's more of the pocket office. You can see where we got the electrical coming out of the ground. So the desk will sit here, giving a great workspace for a individual. I don't know if you want to pile in a bunch of people, but this will be a great space for an individual to come in and work. And it's still not incorporating such a large room, which is taking up a lot of cost to build that room. Yes, you've got cost here, but
they do want the office, but they don't need like that executive style that we used to have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
This one came out really well for the size.
Typically, as typical with offices, it faces the front, so you can always, if you're working, you can see if somebody's
see who's pulling
knocking
up,
on your door
who's
or
pulling
whatever.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we were talking about the home should look cool on its own without the furniture. One of those things where you might want to spend some money is your front door.
Yeah.
So you probably remember this from the previous video, but what does something like this cost, Rob?
So it's a great question.
He's like, I'm going to tell you.
It's a loaded question. We're in a neighborhood where most of the houses hit $1 million. And even in some of these neighborhoods, $1 million houses, you'll see just a typical nice front door, $3,000, and you got a front door. All of a sudden you get your clients to say, hey, I want my front door to be 4.5 feet wide. Let's make it 8 foot tall. So I just moved from 3. Now I'm at about 6. Then you get that customer's like, hey, Rob, let's make it 10 foot tall. I moved from 6 and I'm now around 8, maybe even 9. Oh, let's make it more challenging. Let's make it 12 foot tall. Let's make it all center pivot. So the whole door moves on its own. And now you hit, I guess about $1,000 a foot, I guess is what they're charging now to do something like this. And I get about $12,000 in a front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even what's cool about this one, you said the archway is actually
everything moves.
It's not just
that's correct.
Faux piece.
Yeah.
So.
Everything moves. So that's a really great, cool feature. When you're driving by and seeing the houses, garage doors is the other one we're starting to see some big trends into. People are splurging, spending some money, a lot of glass in the garage door, very modern tones in the garage door. And this is all what I would call, this is the jewelry. This is the jewelry of the house for outside for people to really say, wow.
Right. Well, and we talked about it does kind of have to match the space too, though. If you had like your standard size door in a grand space like this, it would look
well, and I don't know how it's going to come out on camera, but you can see you got 2 of us. This is a big entrance. And I guess when you have this big entrance, you're going to have to size, scope, and scale. So we talked a little bit about that. So obviously this store is very appropriate for its space.
Right.
This also means that my client is going to be spending some dollars and the chandeliers and things that are going to have to fill into this space because we got a big area here.
We're not going to go upstairs. It's just a bunch of bedrooms. There's not really a whole lot to see up there. It's just a bunch more sheetrock. So you've seen the main cool stuff.
We make it sound so good upstairs. Upstairs, the kids get sheetrock.
Kids we don't care about kids.
No slides.
There's no slides, no rock walls. Nothing.
No. That's coming. I've got a house that we're working on that right now.
That'd be cool. I mean, like a rope swing, right?
Yeah, the rock wall.
A fireman's pole or something. Yeah. But seriously, we'll come back again when this is on its next phase, when you got some more, landscaping and stuff, paint. So
get the paint done, get the lights in. Yeah.
It'll be a whole new house again. So Rob, always thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great to see you.
If people are interested.
Mom, good to see you too.
Yeah. Mom's rocking the camera today. Sometimes I need a different angle, so I got to have Mom do it. So anyway, I think it's going to look gorgeous. I love that the pool, something to talk about, Mom, if you turn around. When we were talking about the pool earlier, you're going to be able to see it through these fabulous picture windows. It's going to be gorgeous. If you guys want to see more of what Epic Custom Homes does, what was the website again?
Yeah, epictulsa.com.
epictulsa.com.
Yep.
A lot of cool stuff on there. You even have, I found them myself, some video testimonials of clients, which is really great because obviously I can talk you guys up all the time, but obviously, you have that third-party endorsement is always more powerful than anything I could say.
Yeah, so. nothing better than we closed out a house, gave away a house this past week. Yeah. And nothing better than a client that is just so overly appreciative that wants to now be one of those testimonials.
Oh, yeah.
So we always try to keep those fresh and updated. A lot of great clients that we built for. Always excited to do. We're about ready to do a house for a client that we've done 3 houses for them in the past.
Hey,
about ready to be house number 4.
Right there.
About ready to be house number 4. That's right. So
you have repeat clients, you're doing something right.
Right.
But if you're interested in new construction, obviously reach out to me. If you want to build a custom house, highly recommend Epic Custom Homes. That's why I keep doing these, because you guys are doing something great, and hopefully people are seeing that in these videos that you're doing something a little different.
I appreciate it.
Else. We didn't talk about it, but something you can't see, the whole home encapsulation is kind of one of the big things that you guys do.
Yeah. This home is full foam encapsulated. That means the foam is running all the way from the rafters, all the way down every exterior wall, and all the way down to the foundation. So we are basically setting inside of a cooler.
Basically. I mean, your lower energy bills, all the kinds of stuff. Great product. So I don't want to ramble anymore. If you're interested in new construction, you should reach out to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will link below the other phases if you haven't watched those yet.
Perfect.
Because, don't miss out. And we'll see you at the next phase.
Bye. We appreciate it. Thank you.